Hey, hey!
How you guys doing?
Is this like a remix of the opening song?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was sick.
fantastic.
Remixes only.
Only. So this is the first ever Kaiju #8 to English voice cast panel.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Amazing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to eventually be opening the floor for Q&A for the crowd. If you could find the mic. And you don't have to line up yet, we'll get there. But, you know, get those questions in your head as we go, and we'll get started. So we will go ahead and go down the line. Can you guys introduce yourselves and tell the audience who you voice?
Hey, my name is Nazeeh Tarsha, and I am the voice of Kaiju No, also known as Kaiju #8 in
Woo!
Kaiju #8.
Yeah! I'm Caitlin Barr. I voice Captain Mina Ashiro.
Yeah, emphasis on Captain.
Captain!
Yes.
First name Captain!
First name, Captain.
And my name's Adam McArthur. I am voicing Reno Ichikawa in Kaiju #8. Yes.
Best boy.
Yes.
We love him. All right, so all of these questions are for all of you, so we'll just go down the line, or whoever wants to shout out first. Sounds fantastic.
Sweet.
So, were you familiar with Kaiju #8 before you auditioned for the role?
I was familiar with its existence, but not the content matter. I had a lot of friends in the industry that were hyping it up as it was releasing. I mean, obviously it's still releasing. And once I ended up getting the audition, that's when I started delving into the world and kind of, taking a plunge in.
Yeah, same here. I just knew that it was one of the anime that was coming, and everybody was really excited about it. So after I got cast, though, I read a bunch of the manga, so I'm a little bit ahead of the anime. I know some things that happen. I'm not completely caught up.
Is this a spoiler-free zone? This is the anime-only panel?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Same. It's the same for me. One of our friends, Alejandro Saab, was pretty much obsessed with this and tweeting about it incessantly. So that's where I first heard of Kaiju #8, and then got the audition, started diving into the manga, and then since then have been all about this show. I think it's so good. The comedy's so funny. My castmates are incredible, and it's been so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. It is such a fun anime, and it's so chaotic and silly.
Yes.
And I, as a viewer, was not familiar with the manga, and watching it, I was not expecting the amount of chaos to ensue in this series. And so while it is silly, there are still some serious moments. Yeah, the wind's gonna take your name tags. Just pin them to your shirts, guys. So the characters are actually really relatable characters. I personally find myself saying yes, Kafka. He is by far the 30s hero that we need in anime.
Let's go 30s!
Yeah, shout out to all those people whose knees are creaking.
Yeah! Guys, backwards!
Standing room only piano. Right? Yeah. So, do you find yourself relating to your character at all?
Yeah, 100%. I'm 31 years old. I'm fat. And everything is just spiraling downward from here, 1 foot in the grave. I absolutely relate to Kafka. But yeah, no, it's, outside of the very obvious, the fact that he comes into this show already having had life experiences and kind of already having experienced trials and tribulations. I think it makes him one of the most relatable anime characters that I've encountered to this point.
Yeah. I'd say I relate to Kafka more than I relate to Mina, because I'm also old. But I think I do relate to Mina because Mina loves cats. She has a pet tiger, which I wish I could have a pet tiger. How sick is that?
You can.
You can?
Listen,
Don't
anything's
tell her that.
I don't. I will never financially recover from this. But yeah, she loves cats in general, and so do I. I love cats. That's the one thing I know we have in common so far.
I think for me, Ichikawa is he's kind of big brotherly, and even parental towards Kafka kind of right away. But it's that sort of big brother energy I feel like he has for everybody in the Defense Force, especially the episode that came out today. I don't know if you guys are caught up. I won't spoil it or anything, but there's a moment where Ichikawa is the eye of the storm, looking around at all the chaos happening around him, and it feels very big brotherly. And I am a big brother, so that's yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, awesome, very cool. So kind of a silly question here. Would your Kaiju number 8 character get along with anyone else you voice?
Surely there's someone in our repertoire of hundreds to thousands of characters that we can get along with.
That would be chaos if they didn't. I think Mina and Ryukyu from My Hero would get along because they're very, very similar, very serious, militant, stoic women. But they probably both would not like Himeno from Chainsaw Man very much. They'd say, you really need to quit drinking.
Yeah, I feel like Ichikawa would get along with Itadori. Yeah, and also Chifuyu from Tokyo Revengers. And in a way, I actually think that if Chifuyu is here and Itadori is here, Ichikawa, personality-wise, is like right in between, but he's another good boy.
Yeah.
So they would all just sit around and have like a contest on who was the goodest. Who like was the most loyal to their friend, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You mean they wouldn't get along with Jonah from Bungo Stray Dogs?
Jonah would be sitting off to the side judging them, but really wanting to be included.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are fantastic answers. So if you guys want to get started lining up, I'm going to ask a couple more questions. Jimmy over there is waving in his hat if you guys want to line up for some questions.
He's waving in
He's
his hat.
waving with his hat. I don't know how else to describe that. So, would you rather be on the defense force or cleanup crew, and why?
I think this is an obvious question. Maybe not. Go ahead.
Well, I think, want and would be qualified for are two different things. I'd like to be in the defense force. I'd probably end up in the cleanup crew.
The cleanup crew is definitely safer, but I mean, it's like the first episode when they get real gross. I don't think I'd survive. I think I would have a better chance surviving fighting kaiju than surviving the gross out, like, from the cleanup crew. I want to be on the defense force.
I'm exactly the same. I changed a 2-year-old's diaper once, and that was it. It was my nephew, was one and done. Every time my sister-in-law or my brother are like, do you want to change him? I'm like, no. You made that thing. Why don't you change it?
That's your problem.
Yeah, defense force all the way for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think you would be qualified for the defense force?
Me?
Yeah.
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 What about you, Caitlin? Would you?
No, absolutely not. I can't even do a push-up. Like,
That's fair.
I'd be toast.
I'd be right there with you. I don't think I'm very qualified for the defense force either. If you swallowed a kaiju, what sort of powers would you want to come from that?
Man.
I know I'm asking the deep cut questions here, guys.
I mean, like, if I'm just picking, like, powers in general, I like super speed. I think super speed is overpowered as hell, and would wish that that happened. If not, I mean, you really can't go wrong with super strength or flying,
That's what I was going to say, flying. Because, man, it sure was hard to get out of the Dallas airport this weekend.
I think I would want either the power to drink boba all the time and not get sick and it like nourish me. It's like what I need to live. It's just so fun to drink it. Or like flying. I couldn't actually think of a second thing. I really just want boba.
Yeah.
I really just want boba. That's it.
I think that's fair. That's fair. Now, what would you want audiences to take away from your character in Kaiju number 8?
The biggest thing that I'd want them to take away, and I feel like the sort of like overarching theme relating to Kafka, which is it's never too late to kind of redirect toward your passions and give yourself a second shot at life for anyone who has kind of dismissed anything that they've wanted to do, but for one reason or another found themselves unable to.
Yeah. Dream big.
Yeah.
Yeah, dream big. You can do anything. You can be the captain of the defense force. You can have the biggest gun in the world. That's terrible advice. You could be the captain.
That was very Texas of you.
But you could have the biggest gun and a tiger.
Yeah.
And a tiger.
Dream big.
That's the takeaway. That's what I got from Anime Riverside.
Yes.
You could have a gun.
Dang, what's the takeaway for Ichikawa? I would say that the takeaway for Ichikawa is it's okay to be quietly confident. It's okay to know what you can do and not be afraid to step up when you're called to it, but you also don't have to be like braggadocious or loud about it. You can just, know what you're capable of and go and also, achieve your dreams.
Actually, I want to take that answer too.
Okay.
That fits Mina too. So just pretend I said that.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, good job.
Really
I'm
good.
gonna take that answer.
That was really, really something, Caitlin. That was perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys auditioned for Kaiju number 8, were you hoping to get cast as the character that you are right now?
I don't think there's a single person who auditions, doesn't hope that they book one of the big characters. But I was trepid about the process in the beginning and almost didn't audition. It was kind of like a last second Hail Mary. I was like, screw it. I'll throw my hat in the ring. If I get something, I'm happy. But yeah, like I said, you always hope for something big. So I can't deny it.
Cautiously hopeful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I auditioned for Mina and Kikuru because I usually audition for everything unless it's like something I just really, really suck at. I try to do all the characters, at least try. If it sucks, I just won't turn it in. But Mina's the one that I was like, oh, this is like my bread and butter. Like, this is a deep voice, badass assassin. And that's my niche.
That's what you are.
Because I am a
You
badass
are
assassin.
a badass assassin.
No, as I said, I can't even do a push-up, but my voice sounds like I can do a push-up.
Perfect.
So, and the Japanese actress, Asami Seto, I already shared 2 roles with her before, so I was like, this would make sense. So I'm glad they thought that it made sense too.
That's so cool. Yeah, I auditioned for Ichikawa and also Kafka. And when I was reading for Ichikawa, I was like, this just makes sense.
Yes.
Again, like sort of younger, good boy. It's right in my wheelhouse also. But I did read for Kafka, and I was like, oh, this would be really a weird casting if they did it. But I was like, you never know. But it was, for me, I looked at auditioning for Kafka more as like an exercise to try and not sound 15, even though I am 41. But yeah, like if I could have picked anybody, it would be Ichikawa. It just kind of makes sense with the other characters that I have voiced. So.
Yeah. Of course, and the casting was perfect. You guys are absolutely
Appreciate it, thank you.
Super,
Thank you.
super talented.
Go on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Tell us we're good,
Wonderful.
please.
You are amazing. I love the show so much, you guys. All right, we will go ahead and turn this over to audience Q&A. First question.
Yeah, if you guys can't see, the mic is up in this corner right here.
It's over here.
Yeah. Hello.
So, most of the time dubs are like 2 weeks to like a month behind the original episode. With it coming out the same day, is there anything different in like your guys' recording process, or is it kind of just like the same as every other anime?
In my experience, we haven't really run into like incomplete materials, but I've definitely worked on shows that were day and date. That's what we call it, is day and date, when it comes out the same day as the Japanese. And in my experience, I've worked on shows where we were recording to incomplete animation, so that can happen, but I don't think that's happening with this show. I haven't seen any.
Yeah. I would say the only difference, beside, like in this from other anime that's a little bit behind, is I'm not able to just like log on to Crunchyroll before I go into my session and watch the episodes, and we don't get to watch the complete episodes of this show until it's out.
Yeah.
So,
We haven't seen today's episode yet. We were here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Good question.
Good question, yeah.
By the way, sorry, side note, it's thank you guys all for coming. It's awesome to have support for Kaiju number 8, especially because it is doing day and date drops. Anytime you can support something that is doing the things you like and want and would like to see more of, when they see those numbers and in viewership increase when it's like that, and that means they'll do it for other anime, and I think that's it's awesome when that happens. So thanks for checking in.
Yeah.
You are welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Hey.
I just wanted to ask, how is this new role you guys are taking on like different compared to your other roles and stuff, like for Adam, Jujutsu Kaisen and Tokyo Revengers?
Yeah. Ichikawa is, like I said, he shares a lot in common with those characters, but Ichikawa is different. To me, what I'm trying to do with him is those other guys are like a little, or at least Itadori is, his emotional range is huge. Like you see super goofy Itadori, and then you see crying on the floor in fetal position Itadori. Ichikawa is like very consistent. He's sort of in a certain range. He doesn't really go above or below that, except in a few moments with Kafka. But that's more of a testament to his relationship with Kafka kind of pulling him out of his normal. But what I'm trying to do with Ichikawa is create this boy he's got a lot going on underneath, and we don't really see a lot of that yet. And we were not going to see a lot of it until later, manga spoilers, but we learn about his backstory a little bit later and why he wants to be in the Defense Force and all that stuff. So the challenge and the fun and the difference with him is just kind of putting a cap on it and kind of keeping him as the straight man. He's not too crazy ever. He's always in this same kind of range. Yeah.
Like I said, this is pretty on brand for me, this character. I think the only difference really is there are a lot of flashbacks in the first few episodes to them as kids, and I also voice her child version, and
cool.
Thank you. I don't voice a lot of little girls because I sound like this. So that was a little bit of a struggle for me. I'm glad I got to do it and stretch my legs, and hopefully the more I do it, the better I get at it. But right now, little girl voices are not my forte, so it was a little bit of a challenge. But I'm glad to have the opportunity to do it.
You're crushing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for me, the difficulty or the difference in this role is I feel like it's a little bit of every role packed into one.
Yes.
Usually...
You're doing a lot, bro.
Yeah. Usually a character like Kafka is split into two different characters at least. You have like the comedic relief, and then you have the shonen protagonist. But here he is the comedic relief of his own show to a decent extent. And finding the ability to sort of juggle hitting those comedic moments, but also still bringing out the kind of like the battle shonen parts that need to be that need to be executed well. That has been a little bit of a struggle. More so just because of the sort of vocal intensity of going back and forth, and I'm going all the way to like falsettos and going all the way down to like growly and gritty, and it's just like there is no in between. It's just all of it.
Crunchyroll just posted a BTS of Nazeeh in the booth, and you guys, if you haven't, they're posting a lot of like voice actor BTS lately. But if you're interested in voice acting or just you're loving the show, you should go check out that clip because it's sweet to watch a pro do pro things.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I can tell you were bringing that scream up from your toes.
Yeah, yeah. And what's weird is you didn't have any pants on, and that also helped.
I didn't have any pants.
Yeah, the video is waist up, but that's why. Now you know when you want
Actor secret.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
too.
much. You as well.
Got any more questions?
So kind of like along the veins of it's never too late, like what advice would you give to someone who wants to get into voice acting? Not for me, I'm asking for my friend, obviously.
It's okay. It's okay if it's for you. It's for your
Or
friend.
or what inspired you to get into voice acting?
Well,
We both looked at Caitlin.
why did y'all both look at me?
Tell us how to get into it, would you?
Okay. I've been doing it for about 10 years, but I was a theater actor first. A lot of us were, and that's not the one way or anything. We all have very different origin stories. Some of us came from radio, some of us, I don't know, on camera people. Like some of us were like just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But what I would recommend is find out for yourself if you want to be an actor in general before you pursue something like this, because the biggest misconception I think is that people think that it's about doing funny voices, or I can do this many voices, I can scream this loud, I can do accents. Like those things are good little skills to have in your pocket, but I would say about 75% of the roles I get are just my natural voice, and it's much more important to be able to act a full-fledged character in that voice rather than have a bunch of different voices. So I would say try to get into theater, community theater, you know, audition for stuff online, sure. Don't go out and buy $1,000 microphone before you know what you want to do, though. That's a big one.
Unless you have a friend who you can sell it to for like $1,100.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're just going to donate it to me.
But as far as like it being like, you know, whatever age you are or whatever, like it literally is never too late. I always say, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I moved to LA in 2003, and I had done martial arts my whole life. My martial arts teacher said to me before I left, someone has to book those roles, it might as well be you. And that, I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Like if there is a job that needs a person, they are going to cast somebody. And if you want to do it, there's no reason that it can't be you. So just, yeah, keep going and do the thing.
Do the thing.
Any advice?
I mean, my co-stars here put it very succinctly. You know, make sure you have a passion for acting, because at the end of the day, that is what it really boils down to. When I was in college, I started off as an engineer. Dabbled in theater classes, ended up finding a passion in that, learned to act, and also knowing that it's an ongoing process and journey. It doesn't just end. To this very day, I'm still doing lessons, I'm still doing private coaching, etc. Kind of touching on what Katelyn said, you know, sure, you can do a voice or an accent or an impression, but can you live in that accent or impression or that voice? You know, it's like, how does a character cry? How does a character laugh, etc. And so make sure that, you know, you actually have an appreciation toward acting, because at the end of the day, that is what will serve you most. Also, for anyone any inspiring VOs, shout out to iwannabeavoiceactor.com by D. Bradley Baker. He has written the guide that a lot of us use as cop-out answers, but it's ultimately not a cop-out, because it truly is one of the most it's a well-written and just huge amounts of information in there from a working industry pro.
Yeah. I want to be a voiceactor.com.
Yeah, if you forget it, you don't want to be a voice actor.
Yeah. Good question, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi again, guys.
What's up?
Hey.
So, just wanted to come up here and ask. I've obviously, first part of the name of the show is Kaiju. So I just wanted to ask, what is your favorite Kaiju movie, just in general? Like, say Godzilla.
Favorite Kaiju movie?
Type of movies
The Power Rangers movie.
Yes.
Those are my Kaiju. All the monsters the Power Rangers fought. It's true, right? You gotta count them. Right?
It does count. Follow-up question. Does Clifford the Big Red Dog count as a kaiju?
Yes.
Okay, that's my answer.
Yes.
What the?
He is!
Was there a Clifford movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a new one too.
There's a weird new one, right? With the CG where the dog
the
doesn't
Riverside.
look. Yeah.
Oh man,
Still a
you know,
kaiju.
I'm really. I jokingly hate you, but now I actually hate you, because I legitimately, I swear, was going to say the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
You guess you gotta be faster.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
be faster.
She said down the line.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll change my
Down the
answer.
line.
I'll change my answer. Forget that I said Power Rangers. Who said that? Godzilla -1. That's my favorite. Nazeeh, what's yours?
What's yours?
Godzilla -1.
Dang it!
Dang it! We need the Men in Black like forget things. Make it your own answer. Good question.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Brandon. My question for all three of you is going to be, to what degree do you view voice acting as a job versus a calling or an art form?
Ooh, to what degree? Man, I mean, it is, I mean, equal parts all of it, honestly. Just, I can't even, like, compartmentalize them into various degrees because, like I said, in terms of the calling, in college I was exploratory and ended up finding this as my passion. As a job, this is quite literally my full time, so it's the only way that I make ends meet and provide for my family and everything. And then, it's all of a sudden.
Like a craft to it?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm thinking of like all of these different teachers and all these like different schools of thought and like how much there really is to like dissect in this world.
Yeah, how you have to be intentional about getting better.
Yeah.
And how to become good at the thing you are doing. Yeah, it's the same answer for me. It is all of those things. It is, my first voice acting job was in 1998.
Wow.
Once I learned that I could get paid to talk, which is what I was getting sent to the principal's office for in school, I was like, yes, thank you, I will continue to do this. And then I just never stopped. But with that said, like, my career has taken many different paths. When I first started, I was in Northern California. I grew up near San Francisco, and it was like voice acting, but then I did a lot of on camera. And then when I moved to LA in 03, I was doing all on-camera commercials. Like if you were watching television from 03 to like 08, you saw me on commercials. And voiceover had pretty much, where I started everything, had kind of like fizzled out. There just wasn't much for me. And then in 2009, 2010, I had this like big resurgence back to VO. On-camera commercial died out because of a recession that happened in 08. And that's where I am at the Super Bowl. And then that's where